Yo, I I feel really present. My heart is pumping. My breath is it feels full. It's been it's been a full on day, but super enriching and healing and and grounding, and I I want to share this from a place of observation. It's not a it's not a crutch or an excuse or a complaint at all. It is just observation that when I was real young, in like grade 5 or 6 or something, when we were first, maybe even younger, maybe when we were first using computers, I remember that they gave me a headache behind my eyes, and this was the first noticing of it, and then I kind of um, loved playing games, and sort of grew up with Nintendo and playing computer. Like I was playing heaps of RuneScape when I was in like year 5, year 6, maybe even from year 4. So there was a sense of um, there was like trauma in this energy center, right? And as years go on, like I played heaps of games, so it's kind of like um, exacerbating the trauma, you could say. And although although it showed signs in the physical eyes and gave headaches and migraines and things like that, I think it was deeper. I think it's I think it's something that, let us say that my soul chose to, like, this was the level that it wanted to overcome. So it's come here into this vessel, into this body, and this is its boss, or its level to overcome or to transmute or to understand or anything like that. So that is my thinking. That is my thinking on the matter, because it has to be for my benefit. It has to be for a positive reason. There is no other explanation for it. And so continuing on, I played heaps of games. World of Warcraft, League of Legends. I played a lot. I played a lot of games. It was my escape. It was my vice. Also, just like smoked weed a lot, and these are just coping mechanisms that we have many traumas and things like this, but it's our we're kind of like projecting onto the world and blaming the world for, like, hey, you're the reason I'm like this and all this kind of shit. Anyway, back to the point. When I was maybe early 20s or something, um, I had real bad migraines in the eyes, and I just remember like a couple of days, like I just didn't want to close my eyes, and all light was real sensitive, and went and got prescription glasses and things like that, and still continued to play heaps of games, and they said I had astigmatism and all this kind of shit, and so lights became starry and whatnot. But I was and still am a believer that everything can be healed, everything can be transmuted and alchemized, and that's way better. And even now, like the screen is sensitive for my eyes. So there's like this internal monologue of have nothing to do with technology, and then the counter argument is that it's the time we're living in. So, um, any path can be walked, and I am I am pursuing what brings me most joy, and I'm not I'm not obsessed with. I feel whole. I feel complete, and I notice that there is a block in the energy system, and when it hits this region, the energy doesn't get to fully transmute. So when it hits this, it kind of goes haywire, and I get triggered and put in fight or flight. And as an observation, and um I definitely welcome um any insight into this, if anyone else has a similar phenomenon. But I think it has to do with like inner ear. I think it has to do with I honestly don't know. I don't want to put labels to it. I don't want to self-diagnose or anything like that. But I've had moments of, like, I've been drawn to candle gazing and looking at trees and things, and I've had the sensation of, I'll be looking at a tree, and I'll be I'll be affirming to just, it takes no effort, like less effort, just see like it's all in here, like bring the attention to what's actually being seen in here. And there's a sensation of, it does connect to crown, and there is an awareness of all the light. And then there is this this portal that kind of opens, and then you kind of feel weightless, like it kind of feels like the world is spinning. And so I've had this experience multiple times. And um when I did my Reiki attunement, she um she said, you're blocked here. And she encouraged to, when making love and climaxing, to send the energy up. And um so it's just kind of like confirming these different things, that this is part of the journey. This is what's on my path at the moment. It's like I'm on the path of truth. I'm on the path of enlightenment, and there's an obstacle on the path, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna fucking turn around. Like, it's to be overcome. It's and overcoming it will be stepping into my power. So it's welcomed. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm just analyzing from a point of, um I had some realizations today, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And so, and also when I, like, laying in shavasana for a long time, or doing like sound baths, sound healings, I would get, that would kind of make me angry in a way, because I would be triggered in a sense that there'd just be this like throbbing in my head, and like the energy hasn't hasn't done what it's needed to. And um I would just be grumpy, so instead of being in this state of calm and relaxed, I would be irritated and irritable. And it is difficult to shift out of that mentality or that mindset, because it's so on the forefront, it's so there, that it's like, um like, like, there's just this sensation, and there's a level of like acceptance and witnessing it and going into it. And um it's kind of what the point I'm getting at is that even I've even had to have some teeth removed, and it's like this is kind of bringing awareness in closer to that region of there's trauma created from even just the anesthetic, and it's like to allow the nerve and passages to communicate. There's a level of healing the trauma in a sense, and there's a notion of like this is, you know, this is a crutch or this is made up, but it's not. It's so tangible, and I think that underlying, I think a lot of people would have this, you know, whatever it is, whatever it stems from. I think there would be a lot of people that have similar. You know, I think we all come here with maybe different quests or different journeys, but we all have different traumas, and it's not about just being like, oh, just grow up, get over it. It's like, nah, it's like, no, let's heal it. You know, let's get into the to our full power. You know, because it's not about just sweeping it under the rug. You know, I don't want to be a boomer and not take responsibility for my emotions and how I'm feeling and my energy. You know, I want to be, I'm dedicated to this path. I give my life to this path, and I feel I feel that the boulder is cracking. I feel that I am getting closer to what it is that I need to see or need to witness or need to behold, and have had this sensation previously, even when I was younger, of it's this particular state of meditation where it feels like where like my consciousness is on the outside of my skin looking in and hyper aware of my being. And this has been occurring recently, and it's especially like like meditating and listening to classical music. There's this sense of like, oh, like my consciousness is just resting within my third eye, and it's just presence. It's just so simple. It's just there, and it's been happening more and more recently that I am able to shift my awareness and consciousness from the triggered state into sitting back into the driver's seat, or into the observer. And it feels like my nervous system is like a tree, and that the eyes, or the back of the eyes, is a bridge between, it's like the nervous system is a bridge between this physical reality and the light reality and the emotional reality. It's like a center point, you know, the central nervous system, but it's it's deeper because the light body is also the emotional body. So what is the function that channels light also channels emotions? And I think that these are, you know, like the yin and the yang of our experience here. And I think that the yang is in our lower dantian, in our sacral, and that the yang is, or the yin is in the third eye region. um I say that because when the presence and the awareness is here, it's just stillness. It's just every sound, every feeling is just there effortlessly, and it's contentment. It's aware of the heart, aware of all the energy systems, and it's just contentment. It's so lovely, and that the yang energy is that within the sacral there's so much heat there, like it's like lava, it's like a pool of lava, and then this is like our sexual energy that we can cultivate and grow. And I think that's, I think, it's like less less is more, and then more is like this. I don't even know how to put words to it, but even within that frame, that if you can split it once, you can split it again. You could probably split it an infinite amount of times. But I was having this sensation the other day where I was laying under a tree, and it was raining, but it was kind of like real misty rain, just kind of like falling. And I noticed that when it was falling, that it would drift into my left eye. And I was curious in the sense of like, all right, maybe the left eye is receiving energy and the right eye is giving energy, and that's why when we are resting in this place, or when we are seeing through the third eye, there is that sense of a spinning or vortex, because we're in the middle of two vortexes of spinning, or like one receiving and one giving. And so it's just something that I noticed. And even when I was in the shower and having like the water pressure here, there was water that was running down and off the chin, but then it would pull into the sacral like a direct hose. And it was like there is definitely a link between, like a strong link between the third eye and the belly. And I think that's what the message I'm getting right now is that when I have poured into the belly and have breathed deep into it and moved emotion in the belly, there's a sense of liberation within this region of being able to see my soul and to see energy. And so I think it's just something to be mindful of in this moment. And so I've been having this sensation of being able to see my nervous system, or to see my energetic body, and it has been very grounding and very, very centering. And today, oh well, like last night, I woke up at like 1 a.m. or something, and I've been consuming a lot of cacao for like decalcifying purposes, and to just amp up the energy and the region here. And I I can understand that there would be pros and cons to doing this. And the cons would be that it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of hard energy, and there's this sense of like it's it's always on. But I I am getting accustomed to channeling it here, and seeing that there. Anyway, um I was just having difficulty sleeping, so I just got up and I made a drink, and I just sat to meditate. And then I had the idea to do Reiki. And it was it was really, really deep, and it really cleared some things. And it's kind of reinvigorated how much this is part of the journey. It's just like qigong. It's just this sense of filling up with light energy. And a big part of that, a big factor of that, is the rest aspect of that. We fill up with light, and then we have to just like surrender to to God, essentially, to the unknown, to the blissful state of resting. And Um, it was just so, it was just such a pleasant evening. And then I got up at just before the sun was rising and started doing some yoga, and noticed that, because it's been average weather, but today was just mint, and it was actually just such a nice sunrise. So just got up and just sat in it, and was just breathing into these areas. And it's becoming it's becoming more gentle and more effortless to just have my attention here, and not be too carried away in the forward thinking or the backward thinking, to just be here, to be in it and to witness it. And although it's although it's confronting and triggering, I think that reminding myself to look beyond the sensation and look beyond the emotion of it, and see past, this, my body is giving me indications of where to direct my attention and where to direct my energy. So it's trusting that intuition, and trusting that not to take it personally, regardless of how painful it might appear, or how hard done by we might think it is. I think it's just about looking past that, and just embodying it, and trusting the process, that, like, my heart is a guide and my body is an extension of my heart, and to just to trust the process, and to trust the journey. And and it's just been such a profound day. And it's just so nice. It's just lots of meditation, and did some been practicing to do. I really want to just be a beast at handstands. So I did a really nice yoga and strength building practice, and then some breath work, and then some qigong, and then some singing, and, exploring my passions. And and then there was this sense of, it's like it cultivated all this energy. And then there was still just this sense of, I was dizzy, like, it was like I felt really good. I felt super energized and grounded, but dizzy. And I think it's just part of the learning how to ground, and learning how to be in this vessel, and just uncovering what I do not know yet. And so I I just wanted to rest. I just laid under a tree, and I did some more Reiki, and it was just, I was just getting blasted. I was just getting blasted with light. And and it's vulnerable, but supported. Like, I feel that the energies are being released, and the emotions being explored, and felt and understood. And it's not being pulled, like, so much into the negative. It's been quite, it has been a little bit haywire these past few months, but I'm definitely feeling a lot more that I'm not getting carried away. I'm not getting carried away in the turmoil. I'm able to, like, see it. Like, I feel the pull of it, and then it's like, all right, just come back and watch it. And and then there's this sense of being just very sensitive after it. And I think it's just part of the process of just resting, and just allowing sleep to be the best thing that for for your soul and for your emotional growth and to heal your nervous system. I think rest is the best thing, and I think it's you know, beyond our mind, beyond even witnessing. I think it's beyond our contemplation, beyond our understanding. But I was just laying here, and I just had the profound thought of, you know, because this has always been here, but it hasn't always been at the forefront of my mind and understanding. It's only like, oh yeah, like I've got, you know, I get reminded. It's like, oh yeah, I've got this you know, temporary blockage that's sort of always there, like underlying. And you know, I've always been sensitive, and I've always been hyper triggered, and I've always blamed, you know, especially my parents. I've always blamed people. I've always been so quick to blame, and I've always had this thought that I'm broken, and and I've found it really difficult to be in that place of just serenity and bliss, and sitting there. I've experienced it, I've experienced glimpses of it, but I've all I've always just projected externally for this whatever it is. And I just had this deep thought of just, it's like, you know, it's my parents are just people. They're doing the best that they can. They haven't actually done anything to me. They aren't the reason for my trauma, and I'm not the reason for my trauma either. And I think there's some underlying guilt in that. And it was just it was just a profound realization of that there there isn't there isn't anyone to blame for this journey. You know, it's I chose it, and I choose it. I I came here wanting this, and no matter how confronting it seems, or no matter how confronting it appears, I chose this. And and it just felt really good to just, I don't need to carry that guilt anymore. I don't need to carry that shame of thinking that I'm broken, and that someone else has broken me. And it's just not true. It's just not true. It's just a misunderstanding, and a misreacting to what the situation is. I am just yet to see what is right in front of me, and I know that it is effortless, and I know that I am just pure consciousness witnessing this experience. And I know these things to be true, and I walk this path with grace, and I allow myself to see the truth as it is right before me. I don't need to sugarcoat it. I don't need to attach anything to it. And I don't need to blame anyone or anything for anything. You know, we're all just doing the best we can. A lot of us have no idea what our traumas are. You know, I consider myself that I am so fortunate. You know, I have been given so much, and I have and am living such a beautiful life, and I have nothing. I have nothing to be ashamed for. I have no regrets. Everything is exactly as I've asked for. And I welcome this. I welcome this challenge because I know that it's what my soul has chosen for me, and it's what is going to cultivate the most confidence and the most strength within me. And I know that it is for my benefit. And I walk this path with grace and with ease. I surrender to my heart. I feel your grace. I receive your grace. And I give my life to this moment here. It's all I've ever wanted. It's all I've ever asked for. And it's all that ever is. I allow this process to happen naturally. I don't need to force anything. I have the courage to see the truth. I have the courage to see what is here. I am who I am, and I choose me. And I choose me. And I trust the process. And I know it's for my benefit. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I have everything that I need. I have everything I could possibly want. I am so loved. And this is part of it. I love you. I love you so much. I love you so, so much. Be at peace. Be at peace. Be doing so well.